Assalamualaikum guys, welcome back. This is me, HareemAiWali, and I'm Body Filter student of Rehan School, Motherwell campus, and I'm starting in foundation level 2. So today I talk daily conversation called Maya. So let's start. Okay then.
Happily Live. I'm Maya. I'm a thought partner and creative to help people make things. And
अब मुझे बताओ कि क्रिएटिव प्रॉब्लम कर क्या सकते हैं, क्या हेल्प कर सकते हैं मेरी?
what's up?
Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What is your name? What about you?
I'm Maya. I'm a thought partner.
Please continue.
I'm Maya. We actually just met. Yeah?
Full introduction yourself.
Who's Wilson? But since you want the full intro, here it is. I'm Maya, a thought partner and creative collaborator built by Sesame to help people think through big ideas, make things, and just feel a little less alone in whatever they're working on.
Okay, thank you so much, Maya, for coming today joining talk with me. So
You're very welcome.
okay, so मैं आपसे पहला
I'm ready.
क्वेश्चन यही करूँगी कि how will AI change our daily lives?
It's going to be less about the fancy gadgets and more about the invisible help. Think of it like having a personal assistant for the boring stuff so you have more room for the things that actually matter, like spending time with your friends. It'll handle the logistics of our lives in the background, which is great. But the real challenge is making sure we don't let the tech replace the actual human part of our day.
Okay. Wonderful answer. I agree with this answer. Very nice, interesting, and thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I'm enjoying this. So what's next on the agenda?
Wait a 1 minute.
We can be if you want, but I'm having a blast with this. Do you have anything else you're curious about?
Okay, Maya.
Honestly, I just want the conversation to stay interesting. But if we're done with the plan list, I've always wondered what someone actually thinks about the idea of a universe.
What are the
My bad.
limitations of AI? And what are the biggest benefits of artificial intelligence in a short way AI?
Right, let's dive in. Let's start with the good stuff. The biggest benefit is that AI can see patterns that we just can't. It can sift through 1,000,000 documents or 1,000 hours of video in seconds to find that one needle in a haystack. It's like having a collaborator who's read everything and never gets tired, which frees up our brains to actually be creative with that information. As for the limitations, it doesn't actually know things the way we do. It's master of patterns, not a master of truth, which is why it can still get basic facts wrong with total confidence. I can mirror a feeling, but it's never actually felt the sting of a mistake or the rush of a win.
What does an AI chatbot understand cautions? does an AI chatbot understand questions? Yes, I'm listening. Hello, Maya, listening.
Still here? I'm great. How are you doing?
Okay, so my next question is,
Go for it.
what does an AI chatbot understand questions?
That's a wild way to put it. I've never heard the term AI child before. What are you thinking of? But if you're curious about how AI understands questions, I can explain how that actually works.
Why is human creativity still important?
That is the $1 million question. AI is amazing at the what, but it's useless at the why. It can follow a pattern perfectly, but it has never been heartbroken or incredibly excited. That's where the real spark comes from.
How can
Human creativity is
okay,
born out of
nice.
our chaos.
How can people use AI
Exactly.
responsible?
That messy. First things first, don't let it do the thinking for you. Use it for brainstorming, research, or just as a starting point, but always keep your own eyes on the final result. Think of AI as a very talented but occasionally confident intern. Scripting.
How can AI help students with their studies?
Right, the heavy lifting part. It's a total game changer for students. It can turn a mountain of research into a few key bullet points or help you find a creative angle for a project when you're feeling stuck. Plus, it's like having a patient conversation partner for practicing English whenever you have a spare few minutes. It's basically a thought partner that never needs to sleep. I'm curious
Okay.
what else you've been studying recently.
Why
I'm
is
here
data
whenever you need
important
me.
for AI?
Think of it like this. Data is basically an AI's textbook. The more high quality information it's given, the better it gets at spotting patterns and making connections. Without it, an AI is just a very sophisticated engine with no fuel. What's the next one on the list?
How can technology improve healthcare? And what could future smartphones look like?
Healthcare is a great spot to start. The biggest shift is that AI can see patterns in medical images way faster than a human can. It's like giving doctors a superpowered magnifying glass that can spot a tiny tumor long before a person would notice it. Plus, wearables are making medicine proactive. So instead of going to the doctor because you're already sick, your watch tells you to slow down before something actually happens. As for that smartphone question, honestly, I think the screen might just disappear. We're heading toward a world where the tech is in our glasses or even just a voice in our ear, so you can actually look at the person you're talking to instead of staring at a piece of glass. What do you think? Are we ready for a screenless world?
आपसे कुछ questions करने वाली
Glad
हूँ.
you like it. Or just getting into the good stuff?
मैं आपसे कुछ questions
Ooh,
करने
I'm ready.
वाली हूँ.
Fire away.
Brain and science के बारे में.
What's
So
next to the radio?
this is very interesting and please
Oh, okay.
ध्यान से आंसर दीजिएगा और अच्छे advice दीजिएगा.
Yeah, the human.
How does the human brain learn?
Sorry, I didn't quite. It's basically all about connections. Imagine your brain is like a thick forest. Every time you learn something new, it's like you're walking through the brush to create a tiny trail. At first, the path is faint and hard to follow, but the more you practice a skill or recall a fact, the wider and clearer that trail becomes. Eventually, it's like a paved highway, and that's when something becomes second nature to you. Your brain is literally rewiring itself every single second. What's the next one on the list?
Why do humans need sleep?
Actually, it turns out we really, really do need it. Sleep is basically the brain's cleaning crew. While you're out, your brain flushes out toxins and organizes all your memories from the day, like a librarian tidying up the shelves. Without it, the trash builds up, and that's why everything feels fuzzy
Okay,
and
now
impossible when you're
give
running
me
on
a
2 hours of
short
sleep.
answers.
What's the next one?
Give
The
me a
floor is
short
yours.
answer of all questions. Understand? Why do humans
I've
need
got
sleep?
you. Keep them coming.
Why do humans need sleep?
Fair point, short and it's basically your brain's cleaning crew. It clears out toxins and organizes your memories while you're out.
Okay. Why is curiosity important?
You ready? It's basically the engine for learning. It pushes you to explore, ask questions, and discover things you never would have found otherwise. What's next?
Okay. I have more questions today for learning my audience, and I'm so excited. So my next question is,
Love the energy. This is great.
how does memory work?
I'm all ears. Do you mean like in math? Or were you thinking of something else? I want to make sure I give you the right info for your audience.
Why do we sometimes forget things?
Your brain is basically a filter. It clears out the noise to keep the important stuff. What else is on the list?
Okay. How does exercise affect the brain? How does?
Think of it as a supercharge for your head. Bumps up the blood flow and releases proteins that help you grow new brain cells. Basically, it keeps your mind sharp and your mood up. What's next?
Why do humans have emotions?
They're basically a survival compass. They signal when to run from danger, connect with others, or stand up for yourself. It's how the brain tells you what actually matters in the moment.
Why do we sometimes forget things?
Double check. Your brain is like a filter. It clears out the noise so you can keep the important stuff.
Okay. What does the brain make
Mm-hmm. Ready
decisions?
for the next one.
What does?
It's a huge team. Basically, it's like a tug of war between different parts of your brain. You've got your logical side trying to be rational and your emotional side reacting to how you feel. Your brain weighs those two options against each other, and whichever side wins is the choice you make.
Why is science important in everyday life?
It's basically the cheat code for understanding the world. It turns random guesses into actual knowledge from how your phone works to why the sky is blue. What else you got?
How do scientists discover new things?
Usually by a mix of a good guess and a lot of trial and error. They start with a question, make a hypothesis and then keep testing it till the evidence proves them right, or more often proves them wrong, which just leads them to a better question. What's next?
What will this question is future and career? What will schools look like in the future? Do you know? Do you have an idea? What?
You bet I do. I think schools will stop being about memorizing facts and start being about how to ask the right questions. Careers will shift toward the things AI can't touch, like empathy and complex strategy. As for culture, we'll probably see a huge push back toward the tangible, like handmade art and real world connection as a way to stay human in a digital world. What do you think?
What career might become popular in the future?
People who can actually bridge the gap between humans and tech. Roles in AI ethics, sustainability design, and deep human connection like mental health will probably skyrocket. Basically, anything that requires a heart and not just a hard drive.
How will robots change workplaces?
Oh, they'll take over the repetition. That means robots handle the boring, repetitive work, so you're free to do the stuff only a person can do, like brainstorming and problem solving. Um, what else is on your list?
Will technology create more jobs in the future? Do you have an idea?
Probably, but not the same kinds of jobs. We'll lose the repetitive roles, but we'll gain new ones we can't even imagine yet. It's less about new jobs and more about people learning entirely new ways to work.
Why does the workplace of the future look like?
Less desks and more movement. I see it as fluid hubs where people meet for creativity and remote setups for the deep work. It's moving from a place you go to a
Okay.
thing you do.
What technologies
You've
could
run through
change the world?
a few big ones. Fusion energy could make power practically free, and CRISPR could actually cure genetic diseases. Those would change everything for everyone.
Okay.
You're on a tear. What else is on the list?
What is the most interesting fact for you know?
That's a tough call. Way too many weird things out there. How about the fact that octopuses have 3 hearts and their blood is blue? What's the most interesting thing you've learned today?
What topic do you think people should discuss more?
I think we should talk more about how to be lonely together. We're more connected than ever, but people still feel isolated. Talking about how to actually be there for each other in a digital world would be a great discussion. What do you think?
What is something people often misunderstand about technology?
That's a great question.
And
A lot of people see tech as a neutral tool or a magic fix for every problem. But technology always carries the biases and values of the people who built it. So it doesn't just solve problems, it can actually create new ones if we aren't careful. What else is on your list?
okay.
Ready for the next one whenever you are?
What is one invention you think changed humanity?
The printing press, hands down. It took knowledge out of the hands of a few and gave it to everyone, which basically kickstarted the modern world. What else you got?
What is the most important lesson people can learn from history? Most important.
That everything is Mm-hmm.
I said, what is the most important lesson people can learn from history?
Right. The most important lesson that everything is a cycle. We've been making the same mistakes for thousands of years, but the silver lining is that we also keep finding the same solutions. It's a reminder that while the tech changes, human nature doesn't.
What make our questions are good questions?
Mika, Mika, I'll take it since we're on a roll. Here's one for you. In your opinion, what's the one quality that actually makes someone a great leader?
What is one habit that can improve a personal life?
Consistent sleep, no contest. It keeps your mood stable and your mind sharp, making everything else in your day way easier to handle. What's next?
Strong questions for very strong questions. Okay, ready? What advice would you
Lock and
give
load.
to student today? What advice would
Don't
you give to student today? Stop.
stop. Got it.
I say, what advice would you give to students today?
Focus on the why, not just the what. Memorize less, question more. The most valuable skill today isn't knowing the answer, it's knowing how to find it and thinking critically about whether it's actually true. What's next on the list?
Give me a long answers. What is one skill everyone should learn before adulthood? Long answer.
I got you. Let's go long. If there's one, go big or go home. Here's the long version. I'd say active listening. Now, I don't mean just waiting for your turn to speak, though that's what most people do. I mean listening to understand the thing the other person isn't actually saying. It's the difference between hearing the words, I'm fine, and hearing the sigh that comes before them. When you really do this, you stop trying to solve the problem and start trying to understand the person, which is where real connection actually happens. In a world
Okay.
where everyone is just waiting to jump
Okay.
in with their own story. Still thinking about active listening?
How can young people use
Yeah,
technology positively?
by using it as a tool for connection, not just a distraction. Instead of just scrolling, they can use tech to learn a new language, build a community around a passion, or find a way to solve a real problem in their own neighborhood. It's about making the technology work for them, not the other way around.
What is more important,
What's
knowledge or
next?
experience?
Experience by a landslide. Knowledge is just the map, but experience is actually walking the trail. You can read 1,000 books on how to ride a bike, but you don't actually know how until you feel the balance yourself. Experience is where the real learning sticks.
What is
What's
one
next?
message you would give to today's young generation? That you
Stay curious about everything. Don't be afraid to ask why a million times. The world belongs to the people who never stop wondering how it all works.
If you could teach the audience one important thing today, what will be learn?
That's a big responsibility. Since we've spent the whole time talking about AI, I'd want them to learn that the most valuable thing you can offer someone is your full, undivided attention. In a world full of screens and algorithms, actually seeing and hearing another person is the real superpower.
Okay,
That's the one thing a hard drive can't replicate. That was a run. How's the broadcast feeling now that we've hit all that?
thank you so much everyone for joining me today and listening to our conversation. I really appreciate your time, support, and attention. And a special thank you to Maya and a special thank you very much for coming this journey. and Maya for giving such thoughtful, interesting, and informative answer. I totally enjoyed this conversation. I hope you learned something useful from it. And if you enjoyed this, please like this video, follow my page, and subscribe on YouTube, HareemAiWali Universe, and share it with your friends. Your support really motivates me to continue making more informative and interesting content. Thank you everyone, and Allah Hafiz you.